The competition for Arizona's governor seat is certainly one to watch. As I was talking about, those seats are important. Governors have a lot of power. Our last Fox News power rankings, in fact, before the election, still have this race in the toss-up column. New Fox polling shows Democratic Secretary of State Katie Hobbs and Republican Kari Lake are in a statistical dead heat. That 1-point lead for Lake well within the margin of error. But a big enthusiasm gap could make the difference. In that same poll, 68% of Lake's backers say they are excited to go vote. Only 48 described their support for Hobbs as enthusiastic. That's a 20-point deficit for the Democrat. Republican candidate for Arizona Governor Kari Lake in focus now. Good to have you on the program. First of all, let's start with, in September you were a point apart, August you were 3 points apart, and she was leading. And now it has flipped and it's been consistent. What has made the difference?
Well, we've been out actually working and talking to the people. We've been out for more than 500 days meeting with Arizonans, talking about the issues that are affecting their lives, putting together policy that will help solve our problems. She's been hiding in the basement. She barely showed up in the Democrat primary. Nobody ever saw her. She's been in her basement, just like Joe Biden was. So I think the difference is we have policies that are common sense policies to help with the issues Arizonans are facing every day. And Katie Hobbs has been hiding. She refuses to debate. She disrespects the people so much she will not take the debate stage and talk about what she wants to do for Arizona. That, and she's a twice convicted racist who's cost the people of Arizona $3 million. And the press doesn't cover that.
It's interesting. When you use language to describe her, she has a word, apparently, that she uses about you that I picked up just this morning. I was going through video. I'm like, okay, why wouldn't she sit down? Let's hear the latest for the reasons why she won't debate you, which benefits who? The voters, mostly. Let's watch.
Why then not get on the debate stage and debate her?
Not only is Kari Lake, has she centered her entire platform around this election denialism, I didn't want to give her a bigger stage.
It seems like it would be an easy fix if you stood up on the debate stage and confronted her about these issues.
Look, we're 6 days out from the election, and our campaign strategy is our campaign strategy. Whether or not we debated in this race is not going to decide this election.
I have stood up to this bully for the past 2 years, and Arizonans have seen that, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Okay. First of all, what's your reaction to that?
Oh, just another excuse from Katie Hobbs. I want to know, why didn't she show up for the Democrat debate? She's afraid of taking the debate stage. She can't articulate her policies. And frankly, the policy she wants for Arizona would turn us into California. And I can tell you right now, that's not what Arizona wants. She's soft on the border. She doesn't care about securing the border. Her idea for the border is let Joe Biden handle it. He's the guy who got us in the trouble we're in right now. And we know from her record that she's out of touch when it comes to what families want. As a legislator, she co-sponsored legislation to start and introduce kindergartners to sex education. I don't know any parent who wants that. And that was something she pushed when she was in the legislature. She's out of touch. And I don't care who comes in to rally with her. Nobody's interested in Katie Hobbs. You saw the enthusiasm numbers. You mentioned them, Harris. There's zero enthusiasm. She just put out a video, and it got 0 views. Nobody is interested in what she has to say, and I think she's going to take a resounding loss.
It's also a loss for the voters, because they don't get to know both of you in a room being asked the tough questions. And as far as skipping the Democratic debate, I mean, I don't know why she would do that. I mean, that's an opportunity. That's like free advertising for her. But I do want to get to this, because I know you do take the tough questions and you do have the tough talk. Fox polling shows 47% of voters are concerned that your views are too extreme. That's compared to 42% who say the same about your opponent. Talk to me about this.
Well, I mean, what am I extreme on? If you throw me any of my views and explain where it's extreme, I'm happy to talk to you about it. But I don't know what's extreme about wanting to secure the border. We have a bold plan to secure the border starting on day one, calling it what it is, an invasion. We have a plan to give $500 million back to hardworking tax-paying citizens by eliminating the grocery tax and eliminating the rental tax in Arizona. And we have plans to start dual-track education so that our high school kids after 10th grade can get a trade skill training, a vocational training education, or career certification right there in high school so they're ready to take on the opportunities that await them. I don't know what's extreme about that, and I don't know what's extreme about wanting to fully fund our police and make sure that all of our police departments are fully staffed. These are not extreme ideas. That's what the left has been saying. They've been putting dark money into attack ads, trying to paint me as an extremist. But when you listen to what I have to say, my ideas are very common sense.
So you are getting to something as you lay out your plan there for the people of Arizona. You're getting to something, and that is all the money. And now they're bringing in Barack Obama, who I know you say you don't care who they bring in, the Democrats, but they clearly see a weak spot for this seat and also the Senate seat in your state. And so the ads that they're running obviously would be part of the language that seeps into polling. We don't know what's going to happen, though, but we do know who's most excited to go to the polls based on other polling. Real quickly, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the border, because And I'm not going to ask you to talk about your opponent and what she thinks about it, because she should be making that case for herself. But I mean,
that's right.
I live not far from where you're about to go have your next event. You're going to the Social Tap, right, in Old Town? In Scottsdale?
I believe that's where it is. Yeah, we have several events today.
So part of the year, my husband's in Arizona, in full disclosure, and so we're there. And people are talking about this. I mean, it's the border situation in Arizona in particular is different than Texas. It is mainly about fentanyl. And then that fentanyl goes all over the country. You have to have a handle on the border. And if people have an idea of what that looks like, that's why you needed a debate. I know kind of, but I want the viewers to hear it directly from you. I know kind of what you stand for. Katie Hobbs has a few days to make that point as well.
Well, I'll tell you what I stand for. Taking back control of our southern border from the narco-terrorists who are hell-bent on poisoning us with fentanyl. And I'm going to tell you, Harris, I didn't know you were a resident here, and I'm happy to hear that, or part-time resident. The hardest thing in the last 500-plus days on the campaign trail has been having moms and dads come up to me and tell me that they lost a 19-year-old son or a 17-year-old daughter or a 20-year-old daughter because they took one pill and they didn't realize it was laced with fentanyl that came over across the border from the Mexican cartels. And they'll never get their child back. We don't have the option to have a weak leader in Arizona. We need somebody who's ready to secure that border, take on the cartels, and protect our future and our children. I don't want to have to face another mom or dad who's lost a child. That child never comes back. And it's appalling that we haven't had strong leadership to protect our citizens. That's going to end in January 23 when I'm sworn into office.
Kari Lake, Republican candidate for Arizona governor, where they are only a 1 percentage point apart right now. That's within the margin of error, and it has gone back and forth along the issues. And we enjoyed hearing about the issues from you. Thank you very much for being in focus.
Thank you, Harris. Appreciate it.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.